Hello, everyone. Welcome to the IH Technologies webinar. It's called 7 Ways to Use AI in Marketing. My name is Magda, and I will be helping with the webinar today. So our guest today is Faruk Aydin. Faruk, hello. Welcome. We'd love to know a little bit about yourself. So can you tell us a little more and introduce yourself?
Hi, Magda. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today at this webinar. I hope we can refresh our viewers' knowledge on certain email marketing topics and give them some inspiration for their email marketing efforts. I help marketers get better results by leveraging artificial intelligence in their email marketing programs. I've been working in customer success, marketing, and business growth roles with several companies. I found myself in email marketing almost like 6 years ago. I actually fell into it. Since then, I help companies from several industries like e-commerce, retail, media and publishing, finance, to run their marketing automation solutions. In the recent years, as I observed, AI is reshaping the marketing industry. I try to understand it better and share my knowledge with the email marketing community.
Thank you for this introduction. It sounds like it's going to be an interesting topic today. Actually, when you talk about AI, many people imagine what they see from the Hollywood movies, right? Like the rise of the machines and they're taking over the world and so on. How about you tell us a bit more about the perception of AI and what it actually is?
Definitely, you have a good point here. It feels a little uneasy for many people when we talk about AI. I think this suspicious attitude towards technology in general has been around for centuries. For instance, think about the introduction of autonomous elevators. People at that time were very anxious using them. And in the transition time, even an elevator operator had to assist to make people more comfortable using it. This is very similar to what we have right now with the autonomous cars or self-driving cars nowadays. When we talk about human perception of technology, it is worth mentioning Marshall McLuhan, one of the 20th century's most recognized philosophers. He defines technology as an extension of ourselves, our own bodies. For instance, we use wheels or cars as an extension of our feet, taking us to the places where we can't go. Or we use our phones to get our voices heard at distant places, and so on. But so far, the extension of man through technology was limited to our biological features. And it is the first time with artificial intelligence, we experience a cognitive extension of ourselves. We are not yet familiar with it. I think maybe this is the reason of the uncertainty when it comes to artificial intelligence. In reality, I must say we are quite far from the rise of the machines and they're taking over the world. On the contrary, we are shifting our mindsets from human versus machines towards the human plus machines concept, as they can amplify the work we do in a way that we never dreamed of doing before. I think at this point, we can have a short definition of artificial intelligence. AI is the ability of a computer to perform activities which are normally considered to require human intelligence. In my opinion, the most applicable component of AI in today's marketing is machine learning. It is the science of getting computers to act without being explicitly programmed. Basically, what makes machine learning stand out and useful for us is that you no longer need to program every single rule and give all the directions, but it can learn over time as it feeds with more data, more cases, more examples. Like imagine yourself, for instance, when you just started your email marketing journey, right? You probably needed your manager to come to you and tell you every single thing, but now all you need to know is the goal of a campaign, and you get it done without detailed guidance or any other instructions.
Oh, yeah, actually, it got me thinking, like, you're saying you just need a little bit of instructions. Well, how about all those things that people say that AI will take the jobs away and so on?
I think it can be a topic for another webinar.
Mm.
We can discuss the myths and the facts about AI. But if we talk about machines taking over jobs, there was a recent report from the World Economic Forum that AI and automation would eliminate about 85 million jobs, while it is expected that 97 million new jobs will be created by 2025. Actually, you inspired me with this question. Maybe we should create a piece of content about those myths.
Yeah, why not? So I think this is kind of enough about like AI in general. This introduction was pretty good, and let's move on with to AI and its use in marketing. So I'm hearing very different opinions about it. Like AI is just a hype, it's just a buzzword. Or, well, on the other hand, there are some successful cases from global brands that you will be talking later, I suppose. And they implement AI to increase productivity. They optimize their processes. They get more leads. They get more sales. So tell us, please, should we, as marketers, pay attention to AI?
Over the last decade, there's a lot of noise about AI, especially in the marketing community. And it is quite unclear whether AI is another buzzword or it is something that we marketers should pay attention to. Um, on, I think it is on brand, right? They ask over 1,000 marketing and branding professionals about the most overhyped trends and technologies this year. And apparently AI is one of them. And it's like here 22.5% at the third rank. What we know is that AI has moved from academic research labs to mainstream business implementation across many industries. And there are a lot of use cases. In marketing specifically, AI is increasingly accessible to the average marketer right now. I think many of our viewers today, they already use some sort of AI or MarTech feature. And I can say that actually artificial intelligence, it's something that marketing and sales professionals really enjoy because we can see here on this chart that when we look at the comparison between different departments in an organization and the average revenue increase, marketing and sales department, they have the highest increases. So they pretty much like it. When we come back to the use cases of AI in marketing, so we can see here that, for instance, recommendation engines, chatbots, pricing optimization systems, some lead scoring features, they can be some of the examples that we can discuss. You were talking about the global brands, so I would like to go to the spot and talk about one of them, which is Harley Davidson. It's a very interesting use case. Their New York dealership had the profitable summer season behind, and they had no idea about what to do with the upcoming winter season. And they handed over their online advertising to an AI tool called Albert. They gave Albert the creatives, the headlines, and told Albert which ad platforms to use, and they defined the desired outcomes. Albert started analyzing the available past data, such as CRM system, website interaction, and it created clusters or similar groups to advertise. During the first weekend, they sold 15 new motorcycles, which was like twice more than the best previous weekend. Using Albert's optimization capabilities, Harley Davidson actually figured out that there were more potential people that they could reach out, but they never even considered it before. As Albert optimized their ads, channels, budgets, and all the other things in their marketing program, Harley Davidson's leads were up by 3,000% at the end of their third month. And they brought 40% of the new sales from this program in 6 months' time. And they discovered actually Facebook leads converted 8.5 times higher.
Well, I think these numbers are pretty impressive for Harley Davidson. And like you said about the channels, and maybe we can dive into email marketing and talk more specifically how email marketers can benefit from AI systems.
Sure. Definitely, AI can help modern email marketers to step up their game. It actually provides us the greatest benefits around the things that we don't have the capacity or time to manage, such as managing subscriber data, content personalization, send time and frequency optimization, and many more. We will touch base on these key benefits while we discuss the 7 use cases later. Maybe it would be a good idea to talk about what benefits actually consumers or subscribers can get from AI-powered email marketing. Today's consumers expect their experiences with brands to be personalized to their unique preferences, relevant to their needs and desires, and responsive to their behavior. We increasingly see the demand from email subscribers for a valuable inbox experience. Obviously, it's not like brands, they don't want to deliver this experience, but it is really hard to meet these expectations for marketers at a scale. Let's have a look at the Holistic Email Marketing's recent survey where they ask email marketers about their greatest challenges. Managing the data from multiple sources and making something useful out of this data is a major challenge. As marketers want to provide personalized experiences to their customers, it's not easy to do it in a scalable way. Here, you can see that the most challenging one is the dealing with the data part, and the second one is the personalization when it comes to email marketing. Moreover, at another study, email marketers find working with personalized messaging and automation very difficult. Obviously, such practices lead to spending a lot of time and resources to properly perform them. On the other hand, we also see here, yes, it is hard to work with personalized messaging, but email marketers, they get the biggest benefits also from personalizing the messages that they send out. At this stage, email marketers turn to capabilities of AI to tackle these challenges and meet their expectations, meet their customers' expectations. Majority of email marketing professionals use AI and machine learning to improve personalization, especially with content and product fit to drive more engagement. AI also helps with making better decisions faster using available data from different sources. It enables your email marketing team to save time for things that actually matter so that they can focus on working on creativity, on strategy, and some other efforts which are like more revenue generating ideas, while artificial intelligence is doing the heavy lifting about optimizing your email marketing processes. So here we also see that on the Holistic Email Marketing survey, majority of email marketers actually use AI capabilities to drive better engagement. I actually would like to share with you our story at IH, like how we switched to an AI-powered email marketing program. Our team has been working in the email industry for almost 15 years on different ads, such as an agency, a publisher, and a vendor. The team was very successful at what they were doing. However, at some point, we realized that no matter how qualified we were, it became much harder to manage all those soaring tasks. So for this reason, we developed an AI-powered email marketing solution to help us with our work and get better results.
I think it gives us a pretty good foundation about AI. So I will cut my video off now. I will give you the stage, and we'd love to know more about how to use AI in email marketing. Also, a note to all our attendees: if you have any questions, please write them in the Q&A window. And at the end of the webinar, we can answer them. So the stage is yours, Faruk.
Absolutely. I'll go ahead and talk about these use cases. And as you say, our viewers can type their questions. And at the end, we will cover them at the Q&A session. When we look at the successful applications of AI in email marketing, we notice that those companies have their customer data from all those different sources integrated and available for the AI system to learn from. A typical workflow for artificial intelligence it can be presented here. Once you identify the business problem you'd like to solve, you need to input all the data to the system. And this data may come from different sources. And only after that, artificial intelligence can provide predictions, which would be used to make the decisions later. We are talking about millions of data points here. Like they're all about your subscribers, and they're coming from different sources. Management and organization of this data can be really overwhelming. AI can analyze those big chunks of data and turn them into more consumable forms. In a way, we see machines take over the boring part and provide us the actionable insights. Having these capabilities at hand, we can discover and group similar customers using the demographic, behavioral, and transactional data. Each of these customer groups can be defined as clusters, and they can be labeled based on the similar characteristics. Let's look at a simple use case with machine learning to create lookalike audiences with the available data. In this case, we have customer data from CRM, and it is taken into consideration along with the other attributes for each subscriber. And at the end, the AI system brings similar customer groups together. We at IH saw a significant increase at our email marketing ROI from 70% to 110% when we introduced a clustering method compared to the standard data management. Using computational algorithms allows email marketers to adopt the segment of one approach. As you can create a single customer profile, each profile becomes a segment. As you know, in the traditional email marketing, you create segments and there are like hundreds or thousands of people in one group. But in this case, an individual communication sequence and schedule can be selected with personalized content according to your customers' wants, needs, and preferences. We have a use case here that maybe we can cover. So as you can see here, the single customer profile, we need to first deal with the data input. So we have the data from different sources. It can be product catalog or transactions, data warehouse, and they're all added to single customer profile. And we need to get help from artificial intelligence here about who to send, what to send, when to send, and where to engage with those subscribers. So obviously, Who to send is, we can answer these questions like those who are most likely to purchase the product or service that we are selling. What to send, AI brings recommendations into the game. And when to send, we'll touch base on it later on. It is a send time optimization. And AI can suggest us the times that we can send the messages. And where to engage, it is also another challenging thing, because you have a lot of, your customers have a lot of different devices and other places to check these messages. So altogether, after AI answers these questions and suggests us the predictions, we sent the campaign. And this campaign is obviously a personalized one. And after the interaction with the campaign, the new data, it fits back to the profile. And this way, the single customer profile is always up to date and fed with the new data. Here, I would like to also cover a case study about single customer profile. Freestyle Extreme, it's a brand. It's actually a small family brand when they started in their own garden. And they became a large retail company, and they were operating in 60 different countries. But it also brought all these challenges, because they had subscribers in 14 different languages, and 2 specialists from their team had to spend 2 days for each email send-outs. So you can imagine that this is quite a challenging one. And they also wanted to maintain the personalization in email marketing efforts, but they were sending to about 500,000 customers. So at that stage, they wanted to work with an AI-enabled cloud marketing platform, and they introduced a single customer profiles approach. And this, it worked in a way that the system automatically populated and created personal templates for each subscriber. So all the languages and everything was automatically available on the messages, and it was changing for each person's preference. As a result, I think the first one is the most important one for me. They reduced time to spend for these email creations just to 2 hours. And they saw 8% increase in their web revenues, and they saw 4.2% increase in their total revenues. Definitely, after having all this time freed up, their email marketing team now can focus on more creative tasks rather than dealing with a lot of repetitive tasks. As we meet our customers' expectations, and we definitely can say that they would stay with us longer, and they can become loyal customers to us. And the whole concept brings us to customer lifetime value. CLV is the total revenue a business can reasonably expect from a single customer account. By leveraging customer behavioral data, statistical models, and machine learning algorithms, we can predict CLV. But why do we need to predict it? CLV allows us to see which acquisition channels deliver the customers with the highest CLV. So in this case, we know that, for instance, we have the website, we have the social channels or Google search, so we know where to invest next. This way, we can prioritize those channels and spend our marketing budget much wiser. It helps us focus on the most valuable customers with the right strategy. Either they are one-time buyers or VIP customers. In general, when you know your CLV, you can improve it. You can work on retaining your existing customers through email marketing. For most businesses, especially in these current circumstances in 2020, retention could be a key strategy, since acquiring new customers may cost you 6.7 times more than retaining your current customers. Obviously, CLV prediction allows you to optimize customer journey, which we will touch base later. And it is also a key metric for long-term business growth. It allows you to understand if you are on the right track. I'd like to show you an example from one of our clients. Here on the left-hand side, you can see the predicted clicks and the actual clicks. So thanks to machine learning, we can see that the discrepancy between those predictions and the actual clicks is only 0.72, and the total revenue, the discrepancy between those predicted one and actual one, is only 0.71. So here we can see that CLV can be an excellent tool in the arsenal of today's modern email marketer. Earlier, we were talking about how crucial it is to provide a valuable inbox experience to your subscribers through personalization, and how data management is the key for it. Using AI capabilities, email marketers can create individually personalized message content at scale based on each subscriber's personal preferences, unique tastes, interests, and behavior. A common practice among email marketers is testing different combinations of subject lines, text copy, images in the message, and determining which one would work the best. However, it can be overwhelming work, and it is very prone to human error. Artificial intelligence, on the other hand, can predict which combinations would bring more conversations and more revenues, and we can apply these elements in the email marketing content in a matter of seconds. Let's have a look at how AI can help us with the content selection. Using natural language processing component of AI, it is possible to generate engaging subject lines, text copy, and CTAs, which can resonate with your subscribers. So let's have a look at a case study here. There's a company called Phrasy. It's a great solution. They can provide subject lines, engaging subject lines using machine learning. And they work with Domino's Pizza. Domino's had some challenges. So they wanted to be more competitive, but they wanted to still keep their brand voice. And as they wanted to increase their sales and become more competitive, they wanted to engage with their customers, current customers, in their CRM database. So they, like a part of the whole improvement package, they started to work with a Phrasy AI tool for subject line optimization. And in just 2 months, they saw 26% uplift in their open rates, 57% uplift in their email clicks, and in general, 753% increase in their ROI. Each subscriber reacts to a certain type of email design. Some people like more images. Some people, like myself, like more simple minimalist messages. Machine learning algorithms can analyze these personal preferences based on individual design tastes and adjust the image to text ratio and all the other elements in the message. So we are looking right now at Legoland case study. So it is done by Smarter Click and Mediacom. And here on the right side, we are looking to 2 different images. So the first one, Year of the Brick, and the second one is the children, they're driving cars. So we also have 3 different CTA tested here. So the first one is Find Dates, the second one is Book Now, and the last one is Save Now. So using the artificial intelligence, it is possible to run the whole test at a scale. And the company, they saw such impressive results. Only after this campaign, they got £84,000 revenue, 690 new sales, and 4.6% increase in engagement rate. When we were talking about the single subscriber profile approach earlier, AI actually can identify the type of content each subscriber is engaging. And it can select the relevant content to build better relationships with your subscribers. For e-commerce and retail brands, we can add product recommendations based on past interactions of a customer on a brand's website, on a mobile app, or some other channels. So right now we are looking at a Netflix use case, and I just couldn't put the whole email in this slide. So I just cut them into 3 pieces. So apparently it is sent to someone who just finished watching Stranger Things, and it started to recommend some other TV series. Here, for example, this blog is more about action type of TV series, and the other ones are something maybe a good match for 2020 right now. So there are other different recommendations sent by Netflix. The next topic that I would like to cover is send time and frequency optimization. So we were talking about sending the right content to the right people. And now let's cover the timing with using AI capabilities. I heard many opinions out there about the best time to send emails. Like there's no global answer for it, obviously. But as humans, it is impossible for us to estimate it for each subscriber at a scale, but machines actually can do it for us. Based on past activity, time zone, habits, and some other data inputs, machine learning algorithms can watch how each person on your list interacts with your emails, and it can find the best time to send an email with the highest likelihood to get opened. This way, your emails will not be buried in your subscribers' inbox. However, there's a catch here. If you send too many emails, then you may risk overwhelming your subscribers. You should pay attention to unsubscribe rate. So here, as you can see, there's a sweet spot. So if you actually keep on increasing your email volume after some point here, so you may see unsubscribes kicking in and going up. So you need to be very careful with that. And artificial intelligence help us with that. There's an example from one of our clients, and you can see that when we use guesstimation, so we saw only 6,550 actions, which are clicks here. But when we used optimized send time and frequency, it went up. So the AI solution won over the gut feeling or guesstimation, obviously here. We have a case study from Hotel Chocolat. I think this is how it is pronounced. And here, the company had some challenges. They were doing very well with the holiday season sales, but they wanted to have actually this trend going on in the other times of the year. And they noticed that their subscribers, their customers, they were disengaged, and they saw high unsubscribe rate. And obviously, it somehow brought deliverability issues too. And for that reason, their revenues from email marketing sales was not stable. So they wanted to have a good maintenance of it. So they implemented an AI tool, and they wanted to optimize their sending frequency. So as the result of this project, they figured out that they actually sent 40% less volume. So at the beginning, apparently they were sending too often. So the customers, they were actually leaving their list. So that's why they saw high unsubscribe rate. And later on, they also noticed that they had the lowest unsubscribe rate, and they had the highest open rate, 25% higher revenue, and obviously they also solved the problem with the deliverability issues. So as email marketers, we are all after high-end stable deliverability. Imagine that it would be so cool if your email tool could actively prevent you sending emails that might cause some complaints or some other issues. Artificial intelligence can help with deliverability as well. Maintaining a good deliverability requires us to keep an eye on list hygiene, sending domain and IP reputation, and subscriber engagement and more. Artificial intelligence works on deliverability at several different levels. When subscribers are imported to the system, email addresses are checked against an email marketing against a global blacklist. And if any bad email addresses there, like blacklisted email addresses or spam traps known to us, the system will be immediately removing it. And also, it is possible to work with a third-party verification partner. So even before you import those subscribers to your system, those high-risk email addresses can be quarantined. AI solution also helps with going through a fully automated warm-up phase. It decides how many messages should be sent to which domain family at what pace. Normally, this stage takes a great deal of effort and time for email marketers, and thanks to AI, it can be done automatically. Before sending campaigns, AI does preliminary tests to identify any possible issues, such as spammy words, blacklisted domains, or broken links in your email content. Also, artificial intelligence can recognize ISP minute signals, and it can optimize the resend rules. So finally, we create a unique communication with each subscriber profile. We send the right message content at the right time and frequency, and keep a high engagement rate. When all those good practices are in place, we usually end up with successful email marketing efforts. However, when we have any issues with deliverability, it is always good to check the reports and the analytics to get back and see what's wrong. The last part that I would like to cover is the customer journey optimization using AI solutions. We interact with each customer at a different stage of their customer journey with our brand. It is crucial that we correctly understand what each subscriber or each customer wants, and we should provide them the right experience. We can't manually just manage this. This is quite challenging, and it's actually impossible, especially when we have more channels and more devices that customers can interact with our brand. When we acquire new subscribers, it is the most important stage. We should send welcome series for strong engagement at that level. Artificial intelligence can stimulate interest by optimizing content and offer each subscriber content and different kinds of offers for each subscriber. At the next stage, when the subscribers are active, here you can see it as confirmed, algorithms can predict subscribers' behavior and provide relevant products and promotions. For those engaged customers, they are pretty active and they're interested, but they may have different motivation levels. So artificial intelligence helps us read the digital body language of customers and puts the predictions at work. When we see our subscribers are inactive, we need to send new and engaging content along with some exclusive promotions or some other benefits to get their attention. And finally, artificial intelligence can predict churn sentiment, and we can send some win-back campaigns to bring those subscribers to the customer cycle again. I'm not sure actually if Airbnb uses an AI-powered email marketing solution. Probably they do. I just find their emails quite beautiful, and I just wanted to share them with you as an example for each email type that we were talking. I hope you can see these messages, so that's all I could put here. By the way, I got these emails from reallygoodemails.com, one of my favorite websites in email marketing. So here you can see an example of welcome series. So when you start your journey with Airbnb, this is the message that you get. And also they put a CTA here. They want you to dig in and find a new place and so on. For those active members, they are informing about the news and everything else. And for those highly engaged members, they are actually trying to do some cross-selling. So as you can see, they are allowing people to get something else than booking a flight. For the inactive subscribers, we have here the reactivation campaign. So the Airbnb is suggesting, let's try something new together. So here they would like to get their attention. And finally, when we see the churn sentiment here, Airbnb is trying to send them some exclusive offers, like a holiday gift, for instance, hoping that it will help the brand to win the subscribers or those members back. So this is all from my side for now. I hope it was clear and understandable for our viewers.
Thank you so much, Farag. It was an invaluable input. Actually, I can tell from my own experience when I was starting with emails, it was so many things that you need to keep in mind before sending it. Starting with the right subject, with the right time when you're going to send it. Like I was hearing that you cannot ever send emails on Friday, and I was sticking to this, and it was, it was pretty difficult to keep all those things in line. And right now, I can see from your presentation that all those things can be supported by AI. So thank you for your presentation. If anybody would like to ask a question to Farooq, I think this is the perfect time. We actually have one question that I find so interesting. And the question is, the implementation of AI systems in email marketing seems to be super time and money consuming. How much time does it take according to your experience?
That's a great question. First of all, when we talk about getting started or implementing artificial intelligence powered email marketing programs, the first thing that we should understand is we have a business problem that we would like to solve, and we have a goal about it. And then later in the next step, we should get all the data sources integrated with the system. So it could be the website, it could be the CRM, it could be some offline data even. So we can just bring them all together, and then later AI will have, we can feed AI actually with the data that it can make those decisions. So the hardest part here about all those things that I was telling is actually bringing all this data together, the integration step. So it depends on the workforce of the company, how much data that we are dealing. And usually I solve cases that can be done. Let's say if you're talking about an e-commerce or retail industry, it could be done between 3 months to even a couple of years. But also, for instance, our clients, when they get started working with us, we get them set up within just 2 weeks if they have all the other things available on their end. When it comes to the cost, I believe that AI solutions are getting really accessible right now. So they used to be quite expensive maybe to implement, especially when they were introduced by those like large CRM systems and other companies. But there are a lot of solutions that our email marketers, viewers here can reach and they can experience.
I hope this answers the question of our attendee. So thank you for answering. So tell us, what are the next steps in email in AI in email marketing, apart from those that you covered today?
Yeah. Uh, for me, actually, this is really exciting because there are like different types of artificial intelligence. So we are right now having the artificial narrow intelligence, and the next step is artificial general intelligence, where machines can actually think as humans and they can make decisions similarly. And the next step is like artificial super intelligence. So this is actually the part that at the beginning we were talking. So those exciting things in the future, especially when we talk about email marketing, to me, the first thing that I'm personally also very much interested is the IoT, Internet of Things. So I believe that in the next years, we will be seeing more examples of that. For instance, like let's say that you open your fridge and you don't have a bottle of milk there, or it's like really little. So your fridge can actually send you a notification or email, let's say, and you know that you need to buy that one, or it can automatically order it from your Amazon, for instance. So it will just be delivered to you to the next day. So you still have some milk for your oatmeal. The next exciting thing could be, we didn't cover it that much today, but chatbots would be very interesting. So the implementation of chatbots and how email marketing can have some kind of integration with this. So this might be quite interesting for me. Like those two things, I must say, just came to my mind, like quite interesting, and I'm just looking forward to having them.
We actually have another question. So companies of what size are a good fit for AI systems? When is it time to switch to an AI system? It's actually two questions. So let's start with what size of a company is the best?
I think currently many ESPs, many email service providers, even, or some CRM systems, affordable CRM systems, they have some AI capabilities at some level. So it is possible for even small or medium businesses to go ahead and work with some of those companies and still use some capabilities of AI. And in my opinion, they will be adding more and more. So I think when it comes to the size of the company, maybe those companies might be even more agile. So imagine, like, especially we saw this year after the COVID situation, like very large companies, like they were struggling with digital transformation. And what happened is, like, in just a couple of weeks, they got everything in place. So for smaller business, maybe it would be even faster or more agile to get those AI integrations done. The second question, I think it was,
When is it time to
when?
switch to an AI system?
I don't think that there's a particular time for this. I
Mhm.
think that there are business problems. So if you have a business problem, like on these case studies that we were talking, you need to start considering some other options. And AI might be one of those options. For instance, let's just talk about some use cases. Let's say that you implemented a new product and you're getting a lot of new people on board. So at that moment, you need to focus on welcome messages because they're very important for you. You need to focus on onboarding. So maybe you don't need AI here, but you need to focus more on the onboarding stages. Or for instance, you would like to retain your customers. So at that point, you need to maybe work on those win back emails that you're sending. So they may not really particularly require artificial intelligence. So you can still fix it with the current marketing automation. But if you'd like to go beyond, then I think artificial intelligence in email marketing might be very helpful.
Mhm. Thank you. I think we passed our time limit because it was set to be 45 minutes. If anybody else has a question, you can always reach out to us or to Faruk directly. Um, like you can see, he's providing his contact details. So I would like to thank you, Faruk, for the input. It was a very interesting presentation, and I myself learned a lot from it, and I can only imagine how much the participants could get out of this. And I would like to personally thank all our attendees today. We were very happy to have you. We will be sending a recording of this webinar plus some extra materials. So they should be in your inboxes pretty soon. And also, we would love to hear your feedback. So please contact us. Tell us what you think about AI. Is there anything you would like to add, maybe, or maybe you need some guidance? We'll be happy to help. So, Faruk, is there anything else you would like to say here?
Thank you. I think it was a great session, and I would like to thank all our viewers today for joining us. And I hope that we can help them. So here are my contact details. So if you'd like to learn more, feel free to contact me.
Thank you. Thank you, and have an amazing rest of the week, everybody.
Thank you. Goodbye.